So I feel like it's been a while since we've kind of really covered the proper grind of the game right now. Whether you want to do it or not, we've got the 81 player pick back. One of three, always been a fan favourite of mine. I'd always take it over the 80 plus. You have got to give in 8 players with one of them being rare. So we've got a few different ways that you can do this for literally grinding out as many as possible. The first way, which I'm going to show you, is the most efficient, most effective, and probably the best for your coin balance, your club, and just naturally being able to play the game without spending any money. So what we're going to be doing is putting in all of the non-league SBC cards in. So I believe what we got, we got the whole front row as well. Because this one is 8, it is going to require a few more commons than previously, but that's absolutely fine. As long as it's not the full 11, I'm absolutely fine with that. So we've got the whole one in. That is going to be 1. That looks like it. Perfect. So this is going to be what it should look like every single time. As many non-league SBC as you possibly can. So we've got the 81 player pick, 1 of 3. It will come in quite cheap. If you wanted to just buy a load, fair enough, then do that. First one's going to be, we take 84. So the big thing with the 81 player pick is what I've always found over many FIFAs, and even in this year, we've had the 81 player pick so many times, is that it's great for fodder building. The 83s, 84s, 85s, sometimes with a chance of an upgraded card, which is always perfect. The whole point of this kind of one for me would be the fact that all of these cards can upgrade, and even the low ones are going to be great for potential builders later on. So for instance, somebody like the 86 Les Milou. Oh God, anybody that's French, turn your ears away then, because that's probably horrendous. But he's 86 now. There's a chance that he can go to 90. Likely chances, probably not, but at the very minimum, if he goes an 87 or an 86, we've already seen Politano needs 2 more goals, and he's the first one with the full upgrade. That card would have been about 30 to 40k at the start. If you manage to get him with an upgrade or something like that, that card already is absolutely gone up in value if he's tradable, and also SBC fodder if he's not. We also have the preview packs. That's going to be Dzeko, which was another pick choice. So how do we do this? How do we grind through unlimited amount of picks? And I'm not saying that you're going to sit here and suddenly everything I'm going to tell you is going to magically put everybody in your club. It doesn't work like that. The game is based around grinding as much as possible, and I think this year they've really tried to push the grinding aspect to the absolute maximum. They've given us everything. They genuinely have given us everything to grind this game. They've taken a few bits away, of course they have. They're bound to balance it somewhere, but the big thing is we have a lot more SBCs, gambling SBCs, icon players, icon SBCs for the actual players, challenges, the whole shebang is here. So it's not as if we can just grind the game and happily kind of collect fodder and go our merry way. We've got SBCs of 2.9 million literally every single month or every other month. I think there was a point we had Hullet, Zidane, Mbappe, Eusebio, Dalglish probably went, but we've got like 15 mil in total worth of coins of SBCs to go through. That is the level of what we're going for. So the grinding of the game becomes a little bit too much, because you think, well, what am I actually going to do? Because I'll finish off Mbappe. Well, Eusebio's still got another 60 days. I've got to do this all again, and it just gets very fatiguing. But what they've done now is they've given us a lot of upgrades. 84 times 5, 83 times 10, player picks, campaign picks. There's so much to do. It is very overwhelming to see where you can actually start with this. So what I would first and foremost do is all of your daily stuff. If I'm going through, because this isn't going to be a day to like just a one day and you're done, it's going to be a bit of a grind to get it set up, especially if you have nothing in your club. I will always do the daily every day, because it is literally 1 card for 11. You might as well. Literally, it will take...
If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders.
It will take you barely a few minutes, especially with the bronze and silver. Them two are going to be the quickest you could do, because literally you can just put a silver straight in. If you're not happy who it is, just change it out from the club that you've got there. Then obviously you've got the golds. That one is absolutely vital, because I think that is a unrecognized bit of fodder you can get. You can do it 4 times for bronze and silvers, and it's probably because you do have to actually do the SBC a couple of times. Like, it's 4 times you can do it. For bronze and silvers, I can make 44 cards, 4 rare, 40 common. I think that is absolutely massive, especially because they're actually giving us bronze and silvers back at the same time. That you won't see that very often, and definitely last year that was kind of towards the end when we'd get like the 75 times 5 repeatable, or we get this kind of SBC but it's 1 squad instead of 2. That is kind of what we're at here, and I think this, for an SBC point of view, is amazing. We can do it 4 times a day. We have 11 more days to get it done. I would do this every single day at a minimum. Even on your phone. Phone's probably the quickest way to get it done, to be honest. Because bronze and silvers have literally 0 part in this game, they are perfect to just discard. Some sell, some do sell, but it's very far and few. You would be checking quite a while. I was thinking then, I was like, there's no bronze team in a week, is there? Of course, it's going to be Sud. That always gets me, to be honest. But even then, you can get, obviously, informs from the silver packs. There is plenty that you can get there. That's going to be even more fodder, and especially if you get them from one of these, like the ones from the Daily Gold, that's going to be a tradable card, meaning you can sell them for 35,000. I don't see the bad point in that. And to be honest, I've probably had more informs than in these that I haven't had in the Daily Golds themselves. So they're actually really not that bad. Like I say, sometimes they might be worth having a look at. It depends on where my coin balance is. If I see them and I'm kind of like, we could give them a go, then we might as well sell them. But if they're 200 and it's fighting for other spaces, I'm probably not going to sell them, especially silvers and bronzes. Mainly it's the managers and the consumables that do sell there, or major leagues. So that's kind of where I'd stand with actually selling silvers and bronzes. I find with the bronze pack method still definitely works, but it's predominantly the managers. Like the Canadian manager a few days ago was 5k instant sell. That is just crazy in itself. And sometimes you find a couple of players that might have a marquee matchups available, UEFA marquee matchups, that works. With obviously the 11 golds, these are incredible because they're just free gold cards from silver and bronzes. They're always the best type. And what I would kind of go from here is I'd probably do them all first because you want to make sure that you're getting all of the SBCs done. So once I've done them, I will come back and show you the results. So I believe that is every single one done. Like I say, it took 4 minutes to do all of them, plus opening quite a few of them at the start there. You obviously get the bronze and silvers. If you are struggling with this, I can't put it up on screen, but basically if you've got a preview, I know on console it works, it is double LB and then A. So double A. We'll open the pack up quickly. I think I've got it on my second channel. If you type in how to skip a pack or how to skip pack animation, I've got it on there, which obviously makes it a hell of a lot easier to do the silver and bronzes because nobody wants to really sit there and watch bronze openings. Unless there was a team of the season in it, I'm not too fussed. So we'll get rid of all of them. They're quite simple. And then what we do with the golds is the next step of this grind, especially to start with. And it depends on if you've got duplicates or not. The one reason why I like doing the grind is to mainly try and spend as little coins or as little coins and as little points on the game as possible. And the big thing that EA have done, like I said with the SBCs, is really capitalize on fodder. Because they know full well they've added the women in, they've put a lot of 83s, it means that there's definitely a more bigger jump for the 83s to 84s, so that they're just going to put a crazy amount of upgrades in there. You can obviously still get a fantasy player from these with the 1 rare. It's difficult, don't get me wrong, you're not going to get a walkout every time, but there is a possibility of it. So what I would do with this guy, for instance, if I wasn't doing the video, I would be putting him into an upgrade. The whole point is the kind of, I think Nick 2018 did it, the No Man Left Behind. I know Neps talked about it as well, where you are grinding to do as many SBCs and leave as little behind as possible. If they are tradable, get them gone. You definitely want to sell them as much as possible because coins are the most hardest thing to get on the game from just playing. Inform or Lib? I think that's Lib, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. I was going to say, there's no way that there's Argentinian and not Lib. So that's going to be perfect. And then we've got another player that can go in there. When it comes to non-league SBC cards, you have a couple of options that you can go with at the moment. So for instance, with this, we obviously have got the 81 player pick. We also have the fantasy upgrade that's got a few days left. To be honest, I'd probably leave that now. I'd probably focus on picks. You also have an 82 upgrade as well. I'm not a big fan of that one personally because I suppose it is 7 players, but 4 rare, even though there's a lot of rares, you'll run out very quickly. Whereas I do like the pick. The pick for me is the better option. I've always preferred them. The only time I've preferred a pack is like an 82 double upgrade. Then I'm like, okay, I can get behind that one. So again, if I was to show you what we're looking at here, we'll go through what cards you can use and can't use, or at least are the better cards to use. So if we go for everybody here, we should have kind of now a bump in players that obviously can go into this SBC because we've just done the 44 golds. So that's going to always be perfect. We'll whack you and then we'll have one more rare. Go any, rare, and then we'll find Turkish League. Perfect. So that's going to be all non-league. So what are the non-leagues? So if we go into the premium mixed upgrade, if you've not kind of used it before, 84 again. Perfect. So double 84s. I suppose what are the value of these coming in at? If I could just go to the same whilst doing that. There it is, the favourites. Perfect. So if we go into Futbin, these SBCs, these player picks are coming in at... I was going to say 16k, that's the 85 pick. They're coming in at 3.4k each. If I was going on by the cheapest, would say 3.4. So the lowest that you'd need to get is an 85, and that would be a K and a half over the value. So 84, it's about half value. I'll absolutely take it. So this is the League SBC I'm kind of mentioning. So you've got Ligue 1 and Eredivisie. What you need from this is just one team from Ligue 1. So for instance, the way I would personally do this, go Ligue 1, and I'd just look for the 6 players because that's all you've got to have. 6 players, that's all I've got to find. Whatever one shouts at me first. So I know Lens is kind of the first option. Marseille is there. So all I do... Oh, Marseille's got 5. That's always handy. So we go Lyon. Lyon's the first. I'm not too fussed about 83s. We will get them back, not a problem. So for instance, with this one, I'd just go this. And then what I'd do, because Eredivisie is now available to use, I would go Eredivisie, low to high, and bronzes all the way, and then into the silvers. That is all you've got to do. I will always use the Ligue 1 as the team with 6 because it's a lot easier to get it. And then obviously the Eredivisie, I'll always go the lowest because again, it makes sense. It's as easy as that one, with that one. Obviously, you get the jumbo gold pack back. With the left-hand side, it is tradable. So with that side, sell everything. So I need to make sure that everything's off my transfer list there. When it comes to the Bundes and also the Serie A, and it's the same premise for the La Liga and Prem, I will say go into Serie A first. I will go to the lowest and think, okay, I need, a 76 rated squad or something like that. So I'll probably go Torino, I'll go a left back, I'll go right mid, I'll go you, and I'll probably go somebody in gold because it's cams and CDMs. We'll go Empoli. So there straight off the bat is nice. So that's going to give me 77 is what I need. I will then go to Bundesliga, and instead of then going low, I would go high for this one. So I'd probably try 81 and below as much as possible because that's going to be a lot easier to grind out from there. So I'd go you, and then I'd mix out that, and then we'll try and find the 81s and higher. So again, just missing what we've actually got. There we go. Go with you, and then we'll try Baumann. 77 on the nose, and that's Hoffenheim, so that's going to be the same. Just changing for the keeper there. That should be one rare player, of course. So I just need to find one more rare player, in fact, so we'll just swap him out. We'll go for an 80, 79. We'll see if Leverkusen can do it, and if not, I'll put Tap Sober in instead. Obviously, then we know the rating's fine, so we'll try. Perfect. So then all we got to do, swap a couple of players out. We can move you into left back. We could move one of these into CDM. Can we move you into CDM? No. Oh, we've got everybody in a good position here. Oh, God. Can anybody go centre back? So we can go striker from here. Perfect. So that is what I'd do for that one. With the Prem and La Liga, it is 79 rated. So what I would do with there, instead of the lows being silvers, I'd put the lows as golds. So 75 to 77 La Liga, high rated Prem, and then I'd switch it on the next run. When it comes to Lib and Sud, what you can do is obviously put these two on the bench every single time because they are the only two I use straight off the bat. No worries, like they are always going in because they are just a fodder saver. Cavani and also Fernandes are 79 rated between them. So when you've got a 74 rated team to get, it's just easy. What that does allow me to do for upgrades is any Boca Junior or River Plate players, they can just go into SBCs because I don't need them anymore. With using Fernandes and also Cavani every single time, it just renders them pointless. So that is absolutely fine as well. Obviously, as well, I keep saying that, we will use Sud and Libs together, very much like the Liga and Eredivisie. We'll kind of just put in a few players and just see where they go. Chemistry shouldn't be too much of an issue, but we can still try and make sure that we've got enough here. Trying to see, making sure that I haven't used 2 players twice, and then I'll double him off, and then that should be... That's 74 without him, to be honest. So we might even not use Fernandes there. Let's just see if we can get this chemistry. Because the problem will be is sometimes you won't get a CDM in here. So that's always going to be a little bit of an issue. Striker, centre forward, cam, right back. There we go. As easy as that. Takes a couple of minutes. Once you kind of get used to the players as well, it's very easy to grind out. Obviously, we didn't do La Liga or Prem, but that would just be the same because it's untradeable. You'd just keep all the cards. So from this, I need to make sure that I've actually got some actual space on my transfer list. I think he can go back into the club. Can he go back into the club as well? I don't know if any of these can, but we'll just try them. Oh, they can. So I'll relist everybody else. So what I would do from here, I will normally just sell everything. But because obviously I've got very little room, I wouldn't open the tradable packs until we have space. So that's just something to bear in mind. Make sure you've got space because what you'll find is you'll put them into your club. But then what you won't do is you won't sell them later on. So we've got the Jumbo Gold, we've got the Prime, we've got a Small Prime, and we've also got a Prime Electrum. So the Jumbo Gold is coming from the Liga and Eredivisie. What we'll do from here is just sell everything. Everything is absolutely gone, so it's sell, sell, sell. Everything here is already discarded anyway. And then again, we would sell everything here also. So just out of normal, would sell all this. You can obviously keep them if you really wanted to, but I would personally just get rid of everything because you want to make sure that you are putting in as much as you're taking out. So any untradables, they're the SBC fodder. Anything tradable is where you can make some coins. You could get a walkout, you could get a fantasy. That is where we get the jackpot sometimes. So all of the small wins here from just doing little bits and bobs, so managing to sell the 79 for 400, same here as well, is going to add to the total. So say instead of spending 10k, I spent 7.5k. When we then get a player that's worth 15k, it makes it even more of a profit. That's the way that you've got to look at it, because you'll get as many untradables as possible anyway. So again, if they were tradable here, we just sell them off. If they're not, I would try and put them into upgrades. Purpose of the video, we're obviously going to discard them, but I would try and get them into at least an 80 player pick. You might as well get them into one of them. And then the final one is going to be an 82 player pick. We're going to get centre back. It's going to be Gunter. Ginter. So he's going to be in there, and then we've got a couple of other players that obviously we can put in here. So what I do with these is I just put them back into SBCs. So for instance, 283s, I've got a couple of choices. You could obviously go into a team of the week pick. You could maybe try one of the 85 picks as well. That is always going to be a big shout in all of this. I don't even know what I've actually got to give up. An 84 rated team. I suppose we could do one at the very minimum. So obviously with the fodder that we've got, we'll put in the 84, couple of 83s, and then we have got a couple of 84s as well. So if we go down to here, we should be able to find a lot more of these 84s that we've got chilling around. So if I can do that, we should... Do we need one more? I can't remember if it's 283s or one. Two will do. So perfect. So that's going to pay 2 extra fodder back. We use Ginter, who we got from the SBCs as well. And it's just it's the whole thing about it is just keep it going round. It manages to get us CR7. I never thought I'd see the day where in a player pick I'm choosing a goalkeeper over CR7. But then with the 81 player picks, any duplicates that are untradeable, or obviously any duplicates that you get that are not in League SBC, you put into this. It's going to be the perfect way round to do as many as possible. Literally anything that is not League SBC, so Liga, Eredivisie, Prem, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, and Lib and Sud technically as well. You can use Eredivisie as well, golds. That's not really a big problem because I'm using bronzes anyway for that. But other than that, everything else. Women's League, Portuguese, MLS, Scottish, Czech, whatever you can find can go into this 81 player pick. And you just keep rinsing round. The whole point of this fodder is to pay for players, to do gamble SBCs. Sometimes you end up with an 81, sometimes you end up with a Bernardo Silva. That couldn't have come up better. But that's the best way to grind it out. It's keep on going with that. League upgrades, 81 player picks, into the fodder, into the players, the icons, and you just keep on going round.